I'm Siobhan Akers, and I'm the 2nd District Council member. So I'd first of all like to welcome you. This is the 2nd District, so welcome, and thank you all for coming out to support art tonight in Lexington. Personally, I believe deeply in the power of public art to transform neighborhoods and communities. When I was elected 4 years ago and joined the Corridors Commission, I knew that this bridge had been designed specifically to be a home for art by Clive Pohl and Graham Pohl of Pohl Rosa Pohl Architects. With that knowledge, I reached out to LexArts and sought funding to make something happen on this bridge. I never dreamed of the magnificent sculpture that we have here today. And while I may have been the instigator or spark plug for this endeavor, we wouldn't be standing here tonight without the support of so many people and the coordination by Nathan Zamaron and LexArts. Nathan's behind me.
Woohoo! Go Nathan!
Nathan facilitated the National Call for Artists. He coordinated the artist jury panel that met multiple times. He coordinated 3 different public voting sites around downtown so the public would have their voice heard and vote on the different proposals, and a community presentation held here in the Distillery District where everyone could meet the 3 finalists. And once we selected the finalist, Mr. Christopher Weed, our artist, Nathan coordinated the project's installation with him. So let's all thank Nathan. And everybody else at LexArts, Jessica, Alma for the finance management, Maury for all the public relations, and Nan for her leadership and vision and support of this project as well. Lori Houlihan in the mayor's office has also been instrumental the past 2 years, every step of the way. Nothing of this scale can happen without political will and money. With the initial support and funding by the Corridors Commission, this project began in 2014, and last year, Mayor Gray included $50,000 for this project in his fiscal year budget. My colleagues on the council followed suit with another $50,000 from the city's fund balance. And 21 different businesses, individuals, and organizations donated more than $30,000 to bring this sculpture to life. Origins is a true public-private partnership that enhances our community for those who work here, those who live here, and those who visit for generations to come. I would like to thank our sponsors and name each of them for their support, without whom this would not be possible. Alltech, who we all know is a neighbor here in the Distillery District, the Lexington Center Corporation behind me, Kentucky Utilities, Columbia Gas, Stoll Keenan Ogden, McBrayer McGinnis, Leslie and Kirkland, Kentucky American Water, Commerce Lexington, John Sirigliano, the Downtown Lexington Corporation, Fayette Alliance, the Lexington Legends, the Lexington Distillery District Business Owners Association, DMD Data Systems, Unified Trust Company, Griffin Van Meter, Stein Group, Russ and Kim DeBella of Metathorpe. Join me in giving all of these supporters a round of applause. And lastly, I would like to thank all of you. As Nan said, this is truly public-private, and it is because of your all support that you're here now, that a lot of you wanted to come a couple weeks ago, that everybody was looking forward to it at Breeders' Cup, and all of the positive comments and feedback that I've received, and I know all of us have received since the art was installed. Thank you for your support, because when you talk about it, when it affects you, then I know that art does make a difference in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Nan. That was beautiful. When I first applied for this call, and they said, you know, you're going to Kentucky, I really didn't know what to expect. And I will say that flying into the Kentucky airport there in Lexington, I felt that I was home. It was a weird feeling. I've never been here before. And from that point on, I've just had such a great working relationship with everyone from LexArts, especially the community here in Lexington. I do honestly feel that I'm home when I'm here. This is my 5th time here. So basically, everybody knows what the sculptures, it's the Distillery District. I did a little history on it, and on the history of Lexington, and I obviously it is symbolic of the burning of white oak barrels in the distillery of bourbon there. But there's other things. The light sculptures also resemble torches and are emblematic of hope, energy, and passion, and I thought that really stood out as far as what Lexington was about. So that was kind of the idea behind it, and I have to thank I have to thank obviously LexArts, Nan Plummer, and Nathan Zamron behind me. Nathan was super instrumental in getting, we had a few hiccups on the job, and Nathan was very instrumental in getting things done. And Maurice Sparrow, Jessica, who took many calls from me, Siobhan Akers, Graham Pohl, the architects there, and Clive, and the community at large here. They've welcomed me with open arms there, and I really feel like I'm part of your community there. And I'm very humbled to have completed this project and been part of the community there. So, do I have anything else on my cheat sheets here? Let's see. Let me just talk a little bit about the art again, and that is, it wasn't just about the placement of art, but creating a sense of place. And I'm not going to lie, when I first came out here for the site visit with the other artists, it was a little daunting. And we've got this long, expansive bridge that's super wide, and so it was all about, like I said, creating a sense of place, something that had color in it, and hearken to Lexington's storied past and bright future. And so I think once we got that together, and hats off to the architects again, I think that was a stellar design there. It really worked together. And to you, the community, who's been supportive 100% of the time there and welcoming me. So that's about all I have. I will pass it on back to Nan. Thank you very much, and thank you all for supporting us and showing up.
It will soon be a wonderful trail going in the opposite direction from Oliver Lewis Way. It's the entrance to the Distillery District. Just over the hill is where our great horse country begins. And Graham and Clive Pohl saw the potential in this site and didn't want this bridge to be just any old thing. So Clive, would you come and tell us just a little bit about your vision for this spot?
Thank you very much, Nan. I really want to speak very briefly, because there's a lot of people behind me. I want to point some light on the art of development and the art of seeing, and invite everyone here to look to what's possible, and to also encourage in our governmental processes and in our public conversations the notion of transparency, because it's only when people can see a future and can involve themselves in processes that we are able to realize this kind of vision. And it's really important for our sense of place and for our sense of self. And so thank you very much for coming out tonight. It's a great evening.
Oliver Lewis, as many of you know, and you will now all know, was the first winner of the Kentucky Derby. And the connection of this place, named for him, to our community celebrations around our history with horses was something that Kip Cornett saw as something really important. He's been instrumental in the planning of this event all 3 times. Third time's a charm, that is absolutely right. As the chair of the Breeders' Cup Festival, he's been creative, encouraging, resourceful, and he's brought us some very special guests. So with my thanks, Kip, please come up.
Thank you, Nan. Long before there was Major League Baseball, the NFL, and the NBA, the most important professional athletes in America were professional riders. And at the top of that heap, the Michael Jordan of his day in racing was Oliver Lewis. He rode and won the most important race in North America and continued on to a great career. And I have several folks here today that have been involved with winning literally thousands of races and Kentucky Derbies and like everybody's touched on here, horses are a part of who we are. And one of the riders here tonight, I want to quickly introduce people and then we'll go from there. At the very end, we have Mr. Leroy Jolly, who trained 2 Kentucky Derby winners. Peru, rider from Japan who rode successfully in America. Mickey Solomoni. And for those of y'all that like Keeneland posters, if you've ever seen the Keeneland posters that have been collected for about 51 times, Mickey was on the first one. And you were like 12 back then, right? And then we have Jacinto Vasquez, who teamed up with Mr. Leroy Jolly to win not only on Foolish Pleasure, but the second filly in history to win the Kentucky Derby, Genuine Risk. And then we have the formidable riding and life-mate combination of Susie and Johnny Owen, who also have been very successful riders as well. So again, very much woven in every part of our community. And Mickey wanted me to touch on 3 things about these lights that I thought was tremendous. And he said he likes to talk for 45 minutes, so I'm going to make it shorter than that. We've got to light these fireworks. Number 1, he said, the light represents the horse. And the horse, which has been the light for this community for, literally since its inception, is if you travel the world and you say Lexington, Kentucky, that's going to come up. The second piece of that light is shining a light on the riders and their impact not only on the sport, but making sure that they're taken care of, because I think you'd probably find it's very difficult to find a more dangerous occupation in the world. And last but not least is the horses themselves and making sure that those horses are taken care of. And again, that gives us our flavor, our culture for this community. And I just wanted to close by saying that not only thanks for everybody coming out, but everybody has childhood dreams. My childhood dream was not to ride a horse, because you can see I can't, but was to be able to go on a phone and say, start the fireworks. So I'm hoping to do that very soon. Thank you.
Okay, Kip, I can say this time with all conviction, I promise. We're about to do that. It's almost dark enough to do that, and it's certainly dark enough to see this bridge in all of its lighted glory. A few more people to say thank you to. Our Mayor, Jim Gray, who is a very pro-arts mayor, could not be here with us tonight, but this project wouldn't be possible without his support. Lori Houlihan, the Director of Arts and Culture for this city, she's everywhere and amazing. Tim Stamps, Eric Presley, Jim Spencer, who helped get these things off the ground and up where they belong. More folks behind the scenes, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Paul Rosa Pohl, Cornette, Christine and Michael Huskisson, who let us park stuff at their place. Lava, who's helping light things here and run the computers, and the Kentucky Arts Council. I'm trying to look and see if there's anyone I have forgotten. Yes, my predecessor, Jim Clark, who really helped get this. Yes, thanks, Jim. Are you out here? But Jim is one of the greatest advocates for public art you'll find, and when Councilmember Akers came to Lex Arts, it was Jim who was there to say, yes, I think we should do that, and Pogue Engineers, who do stuff I can't even imagine that makes getting all of these moving parts seamless and operational. Okay. Did I get everybody? Did we get everybody? Anybody else? Anybody forgot? If we forgot you, we love you. Thank you. All right, now. Where's Maury? There's Maury. Okay, Maury is going to give the high sign to Nathan. Let's count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, come on, Nate. There we go.
In about 2 minutes, we will celebrate light with more light. Stick around. You need to be just a little darker. 2 minutes. Come on.
Yeah, just go up there and tell your joke. I love it. You can go tell your joke now.
Fireworks, it ain't working. I should have just took a video.
Yeah, I've got video.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I even got it on here when they gave Eric credit on
Oh, I
video.
didn't hear it.
Yeah, they gave Eric and Tim Stance credit. The one lady
Nan,
up there.
Nan.
No, yeah.
And she's the director.